I recently did my first Doordash delivery a couple of weeks ago, and since then I've been running the Doordash app and the Uber Eats app at the same time. Here are my thoughts on delivering for Doordash. Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt and I do some part-time deliveries for Uber Eats and now Doordash, and I share my experiences with people here on YouTube. If you have questions about how much you can earn, what sort of tools you need, how to get started or anything else, hit subscribe, get notified of any new videos and check out the content. Today I'm going to share my thoughts about Doordash. I'm going to touch on the sign-up process, the delivery partner requirements, the app use and the user interface, the big one which is pay, the volume of orders, and finally support for drivers. After that I'll touch on multi-apping as well. Okay, so the sign-up process. The Doordash sign-up process does seem a little bit quicker and a little bit easier than the Uber Eats process. I actually signed up for Doordash over a year ago. Never used the app and then I got deactivated, and I just reactivated it recently. So it's been a while since I signed up, but I do remember being surprised at how fast the onboarding process was, how quickly I was able to get on board and start earning. If you do have questions about the sign-up process for Doordash, the best thing you can do is just jump on their website, go to the sign-up page. There's a whole list of requirements and frequently asked questions that will help you to get signed up. If you're looking to get started and you need some help, they do have a telephone line for support as well. So just like Uber Eats, Doordash has a number of minimum requirements. You're going to have to provide identification. You're going to have to do a background check. That's pretty normal. That's in line with any other gig platform that you would sign up to. Again, head over to the website. You can see exactly what you need to provide to get started. I will say that the vehicle requirement for Doordash does seem a little bit easier than Uber Eats because they don't have an age limit on the vehicle. I know on Uber Eats here in Australia, or in Adelaide at least, you need to have a 1990 vehicle or newer, but Doordash, there's no age limit for your vehicle. So I guess from that perspective it does make it a little bit easier to get on there, but you know, the reality is most people are not going to be using a vehicle that's older than 1990 anyway. The other nice thing about the Doordash app is that you can register your car, your motorcycle, your scooter, your bicycle, and you can change between those modes of transport anytime you like before you start your shift. So that's nice. You can get a bit of variety in the type of vehicle that you use. Uber Eats, you definitely can't do that. So on Uber Eats, you have to have a car account, or you have to have a motorbike and scooter account, or you have to have a bicycle account, and you can't combine those different modes of transport, which is really disappointing because this is a flexible earning opportunity. So it would be nice to have that flexibility of what sort of vehicle you choose to use. The Doordash app is designed to make the task of receiving orders, accepting orders, and then delivering orders easy. It is linked to Google Maps, so it will help you to navigate. And if you need to contact the restaurant or contact the customer, you're able to do that in the app. Now, I've done over 3,500 deliveries on the Uber Eats app, so maybe my judgment is a little bit biased. When I switched to Doordash, I noticed straight away that it's not quite as easy to use as Uber Eats. It just doesn't feel quite as polished. It's a little laggier. The navigation opens in a separate window, and you just need to, make a few extra button presses to do some of the common tasks like dropping off an order or completing an order. At the end of the day, it's completely user preference. But I did have at least one comment on my previous video confirming my thoughts about Uber Eats being a slightly more user-friendly interface. So that leads us on to pay, which is the reason why we're all here. Does Doordash pay more than Uber Eats? The short answer is no. But that's to be expected. I mean, here in Adelaide, the market's very small. Doordash has a small share of the market, they're not going to pay more than Uber Eats. Both Uber Eats and DoorDash have their little promotions that they run from time to time. So it might be a Quest promotion or a boost or bonus pay or whatever you want to call it. So on any given day, potentially one is better than the other, but overall, I think it's very similar. Currently on both apps, there is very little in the way of bonus pay or promotions. It's really base pay. The market is very quiet here. I suspect that the markets are quiet everywhere at the moment. Everyone's going through tough times currently. You want to be on the busiest platform because you want to maximize your chances of getting an order. I've been running both apps, Uber Eats and DoorDash, for nearly 3 weeks or just over 3 weeks. And here's what I've earned on each platform. Basically, I go active on both platforms and then I accept whichever offer comes in first and I pause the other app. So I believe that this earning is a pretty accurate representation of the market share between those two apps. I would expect Uber Eats to give me more offers. So if you only want to be on one app, then I don't think DoorDash is for you, not in Adelaide or in Australia. Uber Eats would be the one that I'd be going for. In terms of support, there is quite a difference between the two apps. So DoorDash seems to prefer telephone support. They advertise a 1-800 free call phone number on their website, and every time I've called it with any sort of question, it gets answered pretty quickly, and the service rep on the other end has been very helpful and very polite. Uber, on the other hand, it can be hard to get phone support. They do provide phone support for the Diamond tier Uber Eats Pro members. So it is possible to get phone support, but quite often I found when I was trying to get phone support, after going through all the menu options, I would be trying to get through to a support person and I'd get a recorded message saying, it appears that I'm on an active order, please seek help through the app. So that wasn't very helpful. It's a bit of a time waster. Definitely Uber Eats prefers to use the chat support and the email or the written support rather than a phone call. Both support services work fine, it's just that they have different ways of going about it. So that leads me on to multi-apping. Should I multi-app? Multi-apping will give you access to more offers. So I think that's a good thing. When it's quiet, like it is now, you want as many offers as possible coming through to you. You don't want to waste time sitting in your vehicle just waiting for stuff to happen. You do need to be aware that there are two different ways to multi-app. The basic and acceptable method is to open both apps. When an offer comes through, you accept it and then you pause the other app. This is very straightforward to do. It won't cause you any stress to run the two apps at the same time. The other way to multi-app is to open both apps and accept orders on both platforms at the same time. Personally, I don't recommend this. Don't get me wrong, from a financial perspective, it works well, but it's very stressful. I have tried it. If you get two offers at the same time, picking up in the same area and dropping off in the same area, it is possible to accept those two. But personally, I was pretty stressed out doing it. I was worried about customers complaining. I was getting messages from the app saying, you look like you're going to the wrong place. Do you need support? So yeah, it's stressful. You make more money, very stressful. There is no way that I could consistently do that type of multi-apping. Okay, so I hope that helps answer some of your questions about DoorDash in Australia, if you do have any. If you have any further questions or comments or things that you want to add, please feel free to leave a comment down below. If you'd like to support the channel, feel free to hit the like button on this video, subscribe, and you'll get notified of any future videos. In the meantime, go out there. I hope you're making heaps of money. I'll see you on the next video.